This conference will now be recorded. This conference will now be recorded.
Good evening. This is Jack from Charting the Markets, and this is the Bigger Picture webinar for Sunday, the 1st of September. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what we're doing and learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. I'm not here to issue trading signals. Right, let's have a look at equities first. Okay, we didn't quite make the retest of the all-time high, the retest of the short-term high on Friday, but I'm expecting to see that in all probability in the next 2 trading days. So I'm thinking by Wednesday, because the stats, if you have a look at the post I did last week on equity markets, the stats are favoring a bearish September. There's not a bad setup for a bearish September, but we've got some bullish leading days, some holiday tape still to run. And the bearish setup for September would be considerably improved by a retest of the all-time high on SPX and maybe a couple of the others. We will have a look. We've already done one on Dow, and I think we actually managed one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we managed one on DX last week as well. All right, DAX rather. Okay, so looking at ES, no current divergence. We're pretty close to a retest of the short-term high, and I'm leaning towards seeing a retest of the high in July, which is the all-time high at 57.22. We're closer, I think, on SPX, but we'll come to that and do the futures first. All right, NDX. Does this look like a bull flag? Yes, it looks a lot like a bull flag, and I'm expecting this to break up into a retest of this high. This could do a retest of the all-time high, but I have to say NDX has been lagging so badly that just a retest of the short-term high here would be a good thing. We will see. RTY. I wouldn't like to see a retest of the all-time high because that actually was still set in 2021. It hasn't retested that yet. But I would like to see a retest of the 2024 high, which is this one up here. I think that looks like it's in range, and I think that's a possibility. YM has already retested the all-time high on both YM and on Dow, so that is done. DAX, we've retested the all-time high as well, possibly on the DAX future, but certainly on the DAX index chart. And ESTX, quite nice to see a retest, a big retest there too. Not as sure it's going to make that. This has been lagging. But if you look at the, we've got this sort of consolidation likely to break up on the ESTX RSI, and look at this lovely compression triangle on the DAX chart. Now, this has already made the retest of the all-time high, but this is likely leaning bullish for next week. So nice little indicator. Won't necessarily deliver, but there's a pretty good chance that it's going to. All right, looking at the bigger picture, SPX. SPX, we've got on ES, we've got an RSI 5 sell signal fixed. On SPX Daily, we've got an RSI 5 sell signal fixed. Now, these haven't been as reliable as they usually have been over the last year or so. We've had six of these fixed, and 4 of them made target. Normally, I'd expect a higher hit rate than that, but nonetheless, still a pretty reliable target, and what I like to see if we're about to likely see some downside, and we've seen it. I'd like to see a retest of this high here. We're pretty close. We've made it up to 56.50, 56.48 on Friday, and we only need to go up another 21 handles, and we're up to retest the all-time high. I think I'm pretty good about seeing that in the next couple of days, and this flag set up here has a target at that retest, so I think that has pretty decent odds of making it. Looking at the 15-minute chart, no obvious pattern here, but I do have a larger pattern if we have a look at the SPX chart. I've got this channel here. Now, there is a danger, of course, that we're going to, we'll find we have a bullish September, and we go up through this, in which case I have a target here up at this resistance trend line, and I've got that at about the 58.25 area, I think, and that is the alternate possibility. But I had a look at the presidential election Septembers going back to 2000, and 2 of them delivered modest rises, the other 4 were down. So that's not actually too encouraging for September. And really, we've got some nice looking bullish bearish setups setting up here, and this possible double top is one of them. On NDX, if we look at the daily chart, all the weekly and monthly pivots have been. I'll be tossing all those out with the when I post this, but they've all been worked out, so they're on there and they're already on the chart. Looking at the NDX chart, we're not likely to get a daily sell signal here, but I am thinking we're going to retest this high here at 19,938. If we get a very strong move, which at the moment there's absolutely no sign of, then we could see higher, but I'm keeping an open mind on that. Hourly chart, no current divergence. Looks like a flag. We will see. Looking at Dow, we've still got an old weak RSI 14 sell signal fixed, but I'm doubtful about that actually delivering anything. Dow certainly is looking very strong here, to the extent we've actually got a possible daily RSI 5 sell signal brewing there, and we almost lost that divergence at the high on Friday, and we may lose it on Tuesday or Wednesday. We will see how that goes, but we've already made the retest of the all-time high here. We've got a really nice looking level top set up. We will see how that goes. But I'm liking this, and this shorter term rising wedge has broken down. So it's a nice setup for a decline, and I'm thinking we may see that decline. All right, let's have a look at the IWM chart. We've got IWM, no overall pattern really apart from this wedge which overthrew and then broke down. We could be topping out from that. Ideally, we would see a retest of this high here at 228.63. IWM is one of these ones where it sometimes it really catches the bid and goes up a really short distance in a short time. Sorry, long distance in a short time, like this move here, which wasn't really mirrored by the end of the rest of the market. I'm hoping it might do that and deliver that retest. That would be not a retest of the all-time high, that would be a retest of the 2024 high. The all-time high was still made in 2021. And we've not matched that yet or got particularly close to it. We will see how that goes. I mean, it could be that would be retested too, but at the moment there's really nothing on the chart to suggest that's a strong possibility or even much of a possibility at all. We will see how that goes. So on the hourly chart, no divergence. On the 15-minute chart, nice looking channel here, but that has broken down slightly on Friday. So keeping an open mind on that, we will see. Looking at DAX, we have retested the all-time high on DAX, and because that was at 18,892, and we got as high as 18,906 on Friday, and it got slightly higher than that maybe beforehand. But in any case, we've gone significantly higher. So we've got a beautiful level top set up on that too. Nikkei, I haven't been expecting this to retest the high. This has been struggling at the 50 DMA and 100 DMA. There's not much reason to expect this to retest the high at the moment. It would need to go up a long way, and I think equities generally would have to have a very bullish September to deliver that. Now, they could have that September, but there's a pretty good chance it's not going to go that way. We will see. All right, great. Let's move on to the US dollar.
This conference will now be recorded.
Right, looking at the US dollar, I was saying when I found this trend line here, which is a very nice support trend line, that we might go to the corresponding obvious trend line, which would be this one here. Now, we've actually got a pretty nice setup to do that now. An IHS has formed and it's broken up with a target in about the 102.6 area, and I've got this trend line now in about the 103.2 area and obviously declining. We will see how that goes, but at the moment I was thinking I was saying that about 3 weeks ago, and it's been forming, and that is 2 weeks ago, I think it must have been, or a week ago. It's but I think that has been forming, and I'm liking it, and it seems the obvious thing to do. I'm liking that on the USD chart too. Let's have a quick look at that. And on the US dollar chart, on the daily chart here, we've got the same pattern, and it's looking good. I'm really liking it. We're getting pretty close to possible resistance at the daily middle band. I've got that at 101.9, but I'm liking the move up here. What does that say about the bigger picture? Not necessarily a lot, but obviously a falling megaphone, which this would be, if it reaches megaphone resistance and either breaks up through it or finds resistance there. Obviously, these generally in the end will break up. So we will see. But I'd be surprised to see that happen before we got back into the 99.22 area, which is, if we're going to see a big reversal back up on dollar, would be the place that I would expect to see it. After that test, not before. But I am thinking we can see a larger rally here. We've got an RSI 14 buy signal fixed on the daily. We've got an RSI 5 buy signal fixed on the daily. Exactly the same on DX. You can see the inverted head and shoulders there. It's nice. Bigger picture. On the much bigger picture, I'm still expecting to make it down to this support trend line now at about the 95 area. I've been talking about that since we made this high in 2022. And we are comfortably, that was a strong break of the monthly middle band that we made last month. So I'm thinking we're probably on the way there. What we're really looking at is the possibility either A, that we get down into that 99 area, set up a very nice looking double bottom, which can actually see an unexpected retest of this 114.75 before we then likely go down again, or whether we just see a rally and go down, in which case the main resistance I'll be watching will be this monthly middle band at 103.63. All right, let's have a look at ZB. And ZB, I've been looking at this as a bull flag. I'm not sure this is looking as much like a bull flag as it was. We don't have any positive divergence at the moment. We've got the monthly pivot and the weekly pivot closely together, so this is basically double resistance or double support if we can get back above it. But we're now extending down to the stage where I'm wondering whether this might be something else. It has been looking like a flag before. All right, let's have a look at this on the big picture. Looking at the TNX chart here, this could be a falling megaphone here. It's not the greatest, but it's not a bad support trend line here, in which case we could head back up to here at 39.5 area, which would be down on ZB, of course, and possibly find resistance there and come back and retest this low, which is the move I was thinking we might be doing if this was a flag on ZB. So we'll see how that goes. I don't think we've got any divergence here. We could get some if we go up into that target on the hourly chart. We're not likely to get any on the daily. We will see how it goes. I am thinking this might possibly be a bull flag here, but I'm not really expecting bond yields to go back up and retest basically 5% on the 30-year. We got up to 4.997. I'm not expecting, with interest rates going down, I'm really not expecting to see that. We could see it anyway. Sometimes the unexpected does happen, but it's not really something that I would be looking for. It was something I was looking for a few months ago, but we never saw it. I think now it's probably too late to deliver that move. On the bigger picture, I was looking for a retest of the high to set up a second high of a double top. What I would say is, if we are going to go down significantly on bond yields, we've got a couple of head and shoulder necklines that are worth watching. On TYX, which is the 30-year one, we've got the I've got that at 35, and if we got on TNX, I've got that down in about the 32.53 area. So if we're not going to form the double top, and if we're going to go down significantly, which we might, then I'm thinking that we may well head down there and find support there. We shall see. All right, great. Let's roll on to enrgies.
This conference will now be recorded.
Right, looking at oil. Oil has had a couple of serious moves at trying to find a bid here, but I have to say, unless we can actually really get over sort of the 78 to 80 area and convert it, I'm not really. I think the balance probability probably leans to the downside, and I'll talk more about that on the RTH charts. In the short term, what we saw on Friday could be part of a bull flag, but I have to say this is looking very weak, and you'll see what I'm meaning about the downside scenario when I get to the RTH charts. Looking at NG, NG, could this be read as an inverted head and shoulders? I would go with no. I think it doesn't look. This is the right shoulder would be too out of balance with the left shoulder, so I'm leaning towards seeing at least a retest this low and potentially lower. But let's have a look at those on the bigger picture charts. Let's have a look at oil first. And on oil, on the daily chart, where we've got no divergence currently, you can see we're pretty close to this triangle support. Now, normally, I would be seeing this triangle as a bearish triangle. And actually, if you look at the wave count, it would be A, B, C, D, E, which would be a partial wave. If that counts right, then, and this is would generally be a bearish leading triangle, then we would break down next and we would head down to the main triangle target, because this would basically be a flag triangle. And that would be at a retest of 63.37. I'm looking for reasons to think that might not happen at the moment. I'm not seeing any. We've tried to get back over the daily middle band, but we're failing to hold above it. That was a pretty strong rejection. We've got the ribbon of moving averages 200, 150 in the 77.71 to 78.94 area at the moment. That is solid resistance. We got some of the way up through it on this bounce here and failed, but at the moment, while that remains solid resistance, I think I'm looking at this downside scenario, and I'm thinking it may well deliver. Bigger picture, if we were to see a retest of that 63.57, that could make a very nice second low of a double bottom. So with a rally up to basically almost the 50% area, this would be a model double bottom if we found support there and then started a decent move. And this would all have just been the bottoming process. And sometimes that can take a while. All right, CL, nothing on the daily chart here. NG, nothing on the daily chart here either. RSI 14 buy signal fixed, but it was a while ago, and I'm not sure there's much validity in it. I mainly watch the RSI 5 ones, which have made target. The RSI 14 ones, this one did ultimately, but it really took a while. This might take a while too. I'm expecting to see more upside on nat gas. I'm thinking we might just go down first though. On the bigger picture, what do we have here? Well, it kind of looks like another triangle. This one would lean bearish as well, I think. Not generally speaking, triangles are about continuation, and this would be continuation of the downtrend. Now, again, I'd be looking for a retest of 1.522, and again, that would make a really nice second low of a double bottom potentially. And I'm thinking we may well see it. This has been a very slow mover, and this has been a very slow process, but that would finish this move very nicely and potentially set up the next bullish impulse. But I'm wondering very seriously if we're going to need to see that first. If you look at the weekly chart, we've been finding strong resistance at the weekly middle band. For now, I'm not assuming that we're going to get above the ribbon here. Now, the ribbon here is basically, again, 50, 100, 200 DMA, and I've got those in the 2.25 to 2.32 range, and as you can see, they've been resistance. Until we can get back over and then convert that, there's not really an awful lot to see on the bull side. If we do, then there wouldn't be a bad chance of getting back up into this triangle resistance at the least. But until we do, there's a possibility we may actually just break down, and we might see a general breakdown on both oil and natural gas. All right, let's move on to metals. And looking at GC. GC has obviously been on a very strong bullish trend. This looks like a bull flag of some kind. Now, is it a bull flag triangle? Is it a bull flag channel? If it's a bull flag channel, it would need to come down and probably test the new monthly pivot at 2500 area. If it is a triangle of some kind, then it could break up directly from here. Now, if we're seeing a strong rally on US dollar, which kind of looks as though it is going to be the case, then I would expect to see some weakness, and we could well see a test of the monthly pivot at 2,500. We will see how that goes. Silver looks like a bull flag at the moment, but I am aware this could be a double top. If it is a double top, then this could take us down into the 27.75 and 28 area. There are some reasons to think it might not be, though. Even with dollar rallying here, I'm leaning somewhat bullish on silver. HG, was this an inverted head and shoulders, and is it breaking up? Not sure. whether it was inverted head and shoulders. It wasn't a great quality one. I was hoping for better. We will see how it goes. I'm looking at watching the monthly pivot at 4.16. If you can hold above that, then great. If you can't, then there is potential for significant further downside. There is a lot of talk about demand from China. The question is, how strong is that really going to be? We will see. I think we are looking at a period of potential weakness in the world's economies, and if that's the case, then obviously Dr. Copper is liable to lead the charge to the downside. So, is there potential for that on the chart? Well, I'll come to that. Looking at gold, gold, I've got a decent looking resistance trend line here, and at the moment it's holding it. Now, I don't know how long it's going to hold it, but obviously it could hold it for a while. Does it look like we're topping out here? Not enormously. I do have weekly sell signals fixed, but I have to say we've gone up quite a bit since they did fix. Nothing on the monthly charts here. If we are topping out here, I'd expect us probably to spend another 2 or 3 months topping out properly and setting up the setup for that. So we will see. Silver, RSI 5 sell signal is fixed on the daily. That's bearish short term. Got to say, overall, this is looking like a bull flag, and I think that's probably because it is a bull flag. It's not really looking like a topping setup at all. SI, RSI, daily RSI 5 sell signal fixed as well. Palladium, Palladium could be a double top here. I've drawn in a potential double top support for it. So keeping an open mind. This, I have to say, this hasn't been particularly. We had a nice low here, which was clearly signposted, but beyond that, these haven't been great. We have reached potential resistance here on platinum, and I'm wondering if we might head down into the 800s to test the support on that wedge. We will see. All right, looking at copper. Copper on HG, we've got a daily weak RSI 14 buy signal fixed. Again, I mainly watch the RSI 5 signals. So, was this an inverted head shoulders? It doesn't look enough like one for me to have marked it up as one and put in the arrows for it. We'll see. We did break over declining resistance here. Looking at the bigger picture chart, though, is there scope for further downside? Yeah, we could go back and retest this lower here at 3.92 and potentially go lower than that. But this was a nice looking falling wedge. It has broken up. I'm mainly looking for a bottoming pattern which could involve a low retest. And in fact, I'm not really seeing an obvious inverted shoulder pattern unless this was an inverted head and shoulders. We will see. But if we can get back up over some resistance, we're already over the 200 DMA. We're testing the 50 DMA at the moment. But I am wondering about a low retest in this overall setup. On the bigger picture, is there scope for copper to go down in an absence of demand? Hell yeah. This actually could be a huge double top. I'm not really treating it as a double top because this is the target looks improbable. I've got that target here would be in about the 1.25 area. We haven't been there since 2008. And then we only spent a brief amount of time there. The last time we were there for any kind of period was 2004, 2005. I'm not expecting to see that play out, but it doesn't mean it can't break down. And then reject back up into the highs. We will see. I'm keeping an open mind on that, but I am wondering about it. There is definitely scope, room on the downside for copper to go. Potential little level top here on GDX. No divergence. GDXJ could be a level top too, slightly less nice. We will see. It's but I'm liking a bit more retracement here in all probability on metals while we are running some more on dollar. And I really do like the setup for a further rally on the dollar. I liked it last week when I was talking about it, and I like it even more now. It's looking nice. This is suggesting that we're going to see another week or two of consolidation and more downside on metals before dollar, in all probability, turns back down again and just releases it to the upside. What I would say is this will still be a decent resistance trend line on GC, and it's not yet been broken. Need to break that if it's actually going to make do some serious damage to the upside. We will see. All right, great. Let's turn to the other commodities.
This conference will now be recorded.
Right, KC. This looks like a bull flag. It looks very like a bull flag, and I'm expecting to see a retest this high. After that, keeping an open mind. I'm going to be developing a lot of the longer term charts on these smaller commodities to look at in the bigger picture, and more generally now, having not really looked at them in great detail for years. But in the short term, I'm certainly on the bigger picture. There's plenty of room for further upside. And this looks like a bull flag short term. On sugar, we've got a double bottom that's broken up with targets basically in the 20.4 to 20.6 area. At the moment, I'm still expecting that to make target, but we are retracing a bit. 60-minute sell signal is fixed. Looks like it needs a bit more downside. Going to be looking for support really at the monthly pivot at 18.96. And we might see that tested. CC, playing around with the pattern setup here. Does this look like a bear flag still? No, it doesn't. I am still wondering about a possible retest of the high. But we will see how it goes. At the moment, there's no really obvious and clear pattern setup. That's not because I haven't looked. CT, we got a nice looking double bottom, which is broken up with a target in the 75 to 75.4 area. I'm thinking that's got a decent shot at making that target. We will see. More to say about that on the daily chart. CW, we've actually finally seen some signs of life. You can see basically we saw this big decline, and then we've seen months of trading sideways to slightly down on wheat. Seeing some signs of life. If it can convert the new monthly pivot at 549 to support, I'm quite liking the upside. The buy signal has made target already. Looking at corn, again saw some action. We're reaching a number of possibilities for inverted head and shoulders. The main ones, this one is being reached right now, and I've got another one up in about the 404 area. If we could set up reverse, and we've already got a 60-minute sell signal brewing, form a right shoulder, then that could be the start of a larger move. I am still quite liking a general reversal back up on grains. This could be the start of it, although I have to say we've waited so long, I've almost given up on it, really. On soy, we saw some upside as well. Could this still be a bear flag? No, and we actually made the double bottom target more or less as I'd given up on it. Again, convert the monthly pivot at 999, important psychological 1,000 area. Convert that to support, and we can go up directly. We're out of target, but I do have a possible inverted shoulder neckline up here in the 1043 area. We're up in the 60-minute sell signal is fixed. Not delivered a great deal so far. Looking for support at the weekly pivot, monthly pivot area, and for it not to go much lower. Lumber. This looks like a bull flag which is broken up, leaning towards seeing a retest of this high here in the 548 area. Live cattle, we've got a breakup from this falling wedge. We've seen a back test. I'm liking the upside from here. We've got a nice looking double bottom. This could head back all the way back up into the highs in the 189 area. We will see. On lean hogs, not seeing much in the way of reversal here. 60-minute sell signal has fixed. Might see a bit of a retracement here, but as long as we're holding this rising support trend line currently in the monthly pivot area, 78.85, then I'm liking the upside. Okay, let's have a look at the bigger picture charts on this. Now, KC, this could be a larger double top here. Not really seeing an awful lot to suggest that would be the case, but maybe. As I said, I'm going to start working up the bigger picture charts on these for more indications. But at the moment, this is a potential level top, but not an awful lot to say that it's going to reverse. Sugar, no current divergence. We've broken up over declining resistance. Nice looking double bottom trying to break up here. We've got a possible larger double bottom resistance up in the 20.78 area. CC, RSI 14 sell signal reached possible near miss target, so I should have really ripped it off by now. This looks like a triangle which is broken up slightly. Keeping an open mind, but that's a break up. It's a back test. Obvious next move would be to move up towards a retest of this high here at 10,070. On wheat, RSI 14 buy signal fixed, and we are testing the ribbon of at least one moving average here, and we're testing the daily middle band. If you can get back over it, then that potentially opens up the upside. And I got to say, it's been a while since we actually did any serious damage to the daily middle band. We've had a couple of attempts to get over it. It would be nice to see it be more successful this time. Corn, RSI 14 buy signal fixed as well. broke over the daily middle band on Friday, so I would like to see that convert to support. On soy, our weak RSI 14 buy signal is fixed. These all had RSI 5 buy signals as well, and those were all made target. But again, here on soy, we've broken back up over the daily middle band, and we've broken over declining resistance. I'm thinking this might be the start of a decent move up. Not really much in the way of a reversal pattern here, but we could form one from higher, of course, so we shall see. Looking at cotton, cotton's got an RSI 14 buy signal fixed as well. We've broken up from this double bottom, and I'm liking the upside here. So it might not make it, but we have broken slightly over this declining resistance. I would like to see this deliver. Certainly, it's been a long decline. It's overdue a running, and we've got nice signals for it, and we've got decent ones on the grains as well. I think those have a decent shot at making target. What I would say is on cotton, we've still got an open RSI 5 sell signal as well. This was at the start of this pullback here. That's not quite made the target, although we have held the obvious support at the daily middle band here. We will see. That could well be it. But we will see. All right, and that's everything. Great. Okay. Well, in that case, until next time, let's see how it goes this week. But I think there's lots of interesting stuff here. I'm particularly watching the enrgies to see what happened here, because I wouldn't be that surprised to see a significant breakdown in September. And that would resolve those triangle patterns which have been forming for a while. We will see. Again, as I was saying in my post the other day, we may well see a bearish September on equities. We'll see. All right, cheers, guys. Catch you later.